All right. Hey, I want to welcome family, friends. You guys came to support all of our graduates, whether this is your church or not. You're just here today to celebrate them. So glad you are here. This entire message is going to be focused in not only on our graduates, but also those of you who are here today, because I think there are some things that we can learn, some ways that we can be inspired, some things God has for us this morning. I want to begin real quick with Acts 13:36. Here's what David said. This is said about David. David served God's purpose in his own generation, then he died. That is a whole life in one sentence. David did not serve every generation. He did not solve every problem. He did not know every turn his life would take, but in his generation, with his gifts, in his moment, he served the purpose of God. And graduates, that's what I want for you. In the spring of 1987, I sat awkwardly in a stuffy gymnasium in central Indiana, surrounded by over 300 graduating seniors. I was 17. I tugged at my robe, adjusted my hat, fanned myself, get through the boring formalities as I impatiently waited for my name to be called. I wondered if I would trip over my robe, drop my diploma, shake hands with the wrong person, go onto the stage too early, embarrass myself and my family. As the administration moved sluggishly through all the names, my mind drifted toward my future. I was leaving in a few weeks and beginning my freshman year of college, nearly 1,000 miles from home. I was unlike most of my classmates. I was introverted, quiet, a deep thinker. Like my other friends, I enjoyed cutting up, flirting with the girls, or at least trying. But deep down, I was different. But few around me understood. My future was uncertain. Beyond my parents pulling up to the dorms and dropping me off in a few weeks, I had no idea where I was going, who I would marry, what church I would lead. Everything beyond leaving for college was empty. I had nothing. I just knew I was on my way. As I sat in that warm gymnasium that evening, an excitement grew within me. An excitement mixed with anxieties, anticipation mixed with apprehension, dreams mixed with doubts. Where would I end up in life was not nearly as important as getting out of where I was. I did not know exactly where I was going. I only knew I could not stay where I was. Something in me was reaching for what was next. I had too much energy, more than enough creativity, too many ideas to remain in that little town. Looking back, I can see a little pride in my attitude, but at that time, all I knew was I had to leave. I had to prove I could do better. So off I went. There are a few of you who are where I was that evening some 39 years ago. You're ready for what's next. There are others, however, who are floundering. All you know is you'll have your high school diploma, you'll have your college degree, but you're unsure of much beyond that. Each of you is different. Over the next few months, especially over the next few years, the differences between you will become more apparent. You will slowly drift into this world. Some of you will be more successful than imagined. Others will struggle. Some will make excellent choices. Others will regret a few of the choices. A few of you will stay local. Many of you will be global. But this season of your life is over. The road will diverge into 100 options. You will depart and go your separate ways. Some will remain friends, a few won't. But no matter the wealth of your family, the shape of your body, the color of your skin, the foundation of your faith, the direction you choose, or the clarity of your future, you each have something in common. And here it is. You don't know what tomorrow holds. As hard as you try, and though you pray 1,000 prayers and wish upon 1,000,000 stars, you cannot predict your future. If we could locate a time machine and travel ahead 25 years from today, 2051, there'd be so many surprises, so many unanticipated turns in the road, so many laughs, and so many tears. So here we stand on the edge of tomorrow with dreams and hopes, apprehensions and anxieties, ready to depart. But as we do, what do I have to say to you? You know, I've heard many commencement addresses. I've sat on church pews, stadium bleachers, gymnasium floors, listening to professors, pastors, doctors, politicians, singers, songwriters. I've heard speakers who kept my attention and others who received an applause because they were finished. And most were similar. Seniors were praised because they have freedom and possibility stretching in front of them as far as they can see. They were inspired to dream big and challenged to fight for their ideas. They were encouraged to choose a life of unimaginable success because everything waits at your fingertips. Well, I'm not here to tell you any of that, guys, because it isn't true. It makes a great commencement address. Makes a great sermon. It makes seniors and college graduates feel good about their futures, but do you want to know what research shows? You want to know the truth? These kinds of promises leave people empty, especially your generation. Why? Because today's generation has more freedom than any generation before it. Your generation is actually drowning in possibilities. There are so many opportunities in front of you. Many of you are paralyzed by the choices and have no idea which one to choose. You don't need more possibilities. You need wisdom to decide which ones you should take. Your generation is the most independent generation to have ever lived. Yet you are the loneliest generation to have ever lived. You don't need more independence. You need community. You need good people to come alongside you and help you take your next few steps. Here's what graduates across our country will be told over the next few weeks. They'll be said things like this: hey, the entire world is at your fingertips, yours for the taking. Dream big, bigger than your parents. You can do anything you want. The sky's the limit. Nothing is stopping you. You are unique. Well, if I were graduating this year, that would frighten me. Our world is too scary for me to be thrown out into this wild world feeling nothing but the vacuum of freedom and the coldness of big dreams. Instead, I'm going to do you a favor, and everybody else in this room. I'm going to teach you to ask a question of yourself. And if you ask this question, and if you answer this question, it will change everything. It will separate you from others across our nation. It will elevate your mind above average thinking. And it will soar above people who keep searching inside empty, icy promises. And I'm going to ask you the question in the form of a story, okay? The year is 1933. The world is astir with political tension. We are in Germany. The Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, has passed racial laws against Jews, forbidding the German people to support Jewish-owned businesses. Hatred for Jewish men and children rise until the tidal wave of violence is everywhere. Jews are maligned, reprimanded, mocked, and treated as less than human. And in the middle of the rising tide of hate, a young Jewish man recently completed his doctorate in medicine and opens a private practice treating people who need emotional and psychological help. Despite the rising tension between Germans and Jews, he continues to build his practice, seeing clients and offering as much assistance as possible. But in 1939, everything changes and the conflict becomes global. Country after country slide into violence and World War II breaks out. In 1942, this man, his wife of only 9 months, his brother, and both parents are arrested and sent to a concentration camp. 2 years later, in 1944, this man, his wife, and his mother are transported to Auschwitz. His mother is murdered there. His brother also dies there. His wife later dies at Bergen-Belsen. He's entirely alone. I want you to try to imagine losing your mother, your brother, and your spouse in 1 year. He is subjected to the horror of Auschwitz, but against all odds, he survives, and in 1945, he is liberated and returns to his hometown in Vienna. He opens a new practice, remarries, earns his second doctorate degree, a PhD in philosophy, publishes a book, founds the Austrian Medical Society for Psychotherapy, and dies in 1997, 90 years old. A beloved and highly respected psychologist, author, and philosopher. His name is Dr. Viktor Frankl. Now, why did I tell you this story? I'll tell you guys a story. We got to back up a little bit. While Viktor Frankl was a prisoner in Auschwitz, he noticed something fascinating. Some prisoners died quickly. They gave up. They resigned to the trauma around them and succumbed to the brutality of the guards, while others endured unimaginable pain and suffering, yet made it through to the end of the war and were liberated. Dr. Frankl pondered if there was something separating the victims from the survivors. Something helping people endure while others gave up and surrendered to the horrors. And as he studied his own experience and the experience of others, Frankl came to believe that human beings often live from one of two questions. He was not blaming those who died. They were victims of unimaginable and unspeakable evil. But as a survivor himself and a psychiatrist, he noticed something about the human spirit. Those who found meaning beyond themselves often discovered a strength suffering could not easily destroy. Listen carefully. Listen. Those who found meaning beyond themselves. Those who found meaning beyond themselves. Those who found meaning beyond themselves discovered a strength suffering could not destroy. Don't you find it amazing? Merely asking a different question affects the outcome of your life. One question revealed a different way to live. One question changed everything. And here it is. Frankl observed an inferior way of living. The first question most people ask out of life, and in fact, seniors all across this nation, college graduates all across this nation ask the first question. And here's the first question. What do I want from life? An inferior question, a question that doesn't actually get you through suffering. The reason this question was and is toxic is simple. The people who ask this question view life as something designed to be enjoyed. Life has something to give them. They view themselves as consumers of all the good things around them. And when the good things run out, or when the good things are taken away from them, their life loses all purpose and meaning. They feel life is cheating them. Life is deceiving them by taking away all of their significance. In other words, they become victims of life. And so they resign. They quit. They surrender to fate. Graduates, listen in for a moment. Lean in here. I want to help you. Take it from someone who's a little further down the road than you. Throughout your life, you will experience indescribable joys You'll make new friends, you'll fall in love, you'll have children, you'll fulfill dreams. In so many ways, life will be amazing for you. But alongside these joys, you will face disappointment, losses, broken hearts, busted dreams. People will betray you. People will walk away from you. At times, you will feel utterly alone, and you will wonder if you have what it takes to go the next mile. And those of us who make it, those of us who rise above, those of us who are able to separate ourselves from the pack will be the ones who learn to ask the second question. Back to Dr. Frankl's experience. Dr. Frankl studied survivors, those who rose above the horrors of Auschwitz, those who were able to lift themselves above the darkness and continue to find meaning, purpose, hope, and beauty in the midst of misery and filth and cruelty. They learned to ask a superior question. What does life want from me? Completely different question. Those who survived, who eventually thrived, those able to overcome unimaginable odds, viewed themselves not as consumers of life, but as creators of life. One group consumed the life they were given, and what they consumed was no longer available, they gave up. The other group created life for others, and they survived. One group consumed the comfort they had. The other group created comfort even for the other prisoners. Even those prisoners who had little, they found a way to make a pillow for them, or to bring more coal into their room, or to scrape up some potatoes and give it to them so that they could eat. And those who scraped up the potatoes and made the pillow and brought the coal had a purpose to live, and they survived the war while the other ones didn't. One group consumed hope until it ran out. The other group created hope, even in the midst of horror for other people. One group consumed resources until empty. The other group created resources so other people could have just enough to get through just one more day. So here's my question to you, and here's my question to every single person here and everybody watching. Which group will be yours? Will you be a consumer of life or a creator? Will you be a consumer of hope or a creator? Will you be a consumer of what is good or a creator? Which question will you ask? What do I want from life, or what does life want from me? And as a follower of Jesus, we can even find a third, higher question. What does God want from me? And the question you ask makes all the difference. Let me tell you why. Our world right now desperately needs more creators. We need more givers of life. We need more hope-filled people. We need more solution-focused people. But I got to be honest with you, most people are consumers. Let me show you how easy it is to be a consumer. Tell me if this does not reflect a lot of our lives. Most of us wake up in the morning and immediately consume. We consume news, we consume videos, we consume opinions, we consume entertainment, we consume other people's images, other people's thoughts, other people's outrage, other people's highlight reels before we even see our spouse or kids. Before we have created one sentence, one prayer, one solution, one act of kindness, one meaningful conversation, we consume hours of somebody else's life, just going through what's everybody else doing, what's everybody else doing, what's everybody else doing. What are they thinking? What are they watching? And if we're not careful, we will spend our entire lives scrolling through what other people built while never building the life God put in us. That's the danger. A consumer asks, what can I get from this world? A creator asks, what can God give through me? So if you guys sitting right here, and if every single person here and everybody watching, if you will learn to create, you will become rare. You know what we need? We need people who create hope. We need people who create homes. We need people who create affordable education. We need people who are innovative and smart and talented professionals who create jobs for other people. We need strong and courageous people who create a better tomorrow for millions of others rather than consuming what somebody else created yesterday. Joy is not found in consuming. Joy is found in creating. Don't just consume what others built. Build what others need. Don't just consume encouragement, become an encourager. Don't just consume hope, become a carrier of hope. Don't just ask God to bless your future. Ask God to make your future a blessing. Completely different prayers. If we're honest, we know this is true. Dr. Frankl proved it in the worst imaginable place, Auschwitz. You know, I've heard it said that most people die at 25, but they aren't buried until they're 75. They live most of their lives in a stupor, doing what everybody else tells them to do. Don't drift through life like most people. Graduates, don't you dare walk out of here with a diploma in your hand and wait for somebody else to make your life good. Don't you dare pick up your degree and wait for a job to fall into your lap. Don't you dare think life will be easy. And when it isn't, give up and say how unfair life is to this generation. Come on. Our world has problems we've never seen before. And we need men and women who find solutions that we've never seen before. Graduates, after these weeks of celebrating you and after receiving your diploma and all the cards are opened and all the cake is eaten and all the party ends, this world is really going to get loud. It's going to tell you, chase success, chase money, chase attention, chase comfort. Chase the girl, chase the guy, chase whatever makes you feel important. But I want to give you a better question. Not merely what do I want from life, but ask God. As I stand on this edge, as I'm getting ready to go into life with the education in my hand, God, what are you asking of me? What do you want to create through me? What blessing do you want to bring to this world through my life? What can I give? What can I offer? How can I make other people's lives better? Because your life is not something to merely be consumed. Your life is something to be offered. Your gifts, and you have many, but they're not just for you. They're for all of us. Your mind may be sharp. Let it cut through the lies and let it cut through all of the confusion that our world is bathed in right now. Your opportunities are not just for you. They're for all of us. And your future is not just for you. So go and create hope and create peace and create beauty and create solutions. Create homes where people are loved. Create friendships where people are safe. Create work that serves others. Create a life that points beyond itself. Don't just ask God to bless your future. Ask God to make your future a blessing for as many people as possible. Class of 2026, we love you. We're proud of you. I know your family and friends are. But more than that, we're praying for you. May you walk with God. May you listen for his voice. May you become people of courage, wisdom, compassion, faith. And may you never forget the question, God, what are you asking of me? Let's pray. Father, as we stand here, as we sit here, as we honor these incredible, wonderful students, whether they are walking out with a high school diploma or they're walking out with a college degree or a master's degree, God, you have given them so many gifts. They have opportunities in front of them that their parents and grandparents only wished that they would have had. They have technology that we cannot even conceive of, and it's continuing to grow. Doors are opening everywhere. Paths are unfolding in front of them. Roads that go this way and that way are all around them. They can move here, they can go here, they can take that job or this job. They can go back to school, they can stay here, they can move away, on, and it's all right in front of them. But Father, that is the very kind of environment that consumes us, and we lose ourselves in the middle of it all. Father, I pray for these graduates that they'll be different. I pray that they see what is in front of them and say, okay, all these opportunities are here, but how can I give to the world around me? How can I be a creator and not just a consumer? How can I hear the voice of my Father and do what I've been called and gifted and talented to do rather than just go out into the world and consume everything around me? Father, this world literally can be changed by this generation if they would only see all that is in front of them is not just theirs to consume, but theirs to create. May we hear your voice above all the rest, and as loud as this world is, may we hear the still small voice of your Spirit above it all, and follow the way of your Spirit, and be different, and be a changer of this world. And we thank you for it all. In the name of Jesus, amen. 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 All right, we want to honor our graduates today. And I just want to say that this distinguished crew on this side over here, especially George, right? Dr. Neal and Darcy and Marion, they have, and others, not just them, but others, have loved and served and given so much to our students and our graduates this year. And some are not even in the student ministry, but have gone beyond that. But they have given so much. And I want you to give a round of applause to those who have loved our kids and served our kids. And I want to tell you guys, making an entire service and all the decorations and gifts and everything has been their leadership that has made all this possible. So they love you, and they wanted to honor you guys today and didn't want it to just be a quick, hey, congratulations, but really give some time and attention to it. So thank you so very much. So Marion, we need to give you a mic, don't we? All right. There you go. Let me give the